so I guess this is the start of a new vlog. But today we're gonna go to my niece's school and have them try some acorn soup, as well as some grilled eel, as you saw. We'll see how they like it. The kids don't tend to like them, but some kids don't tend to like it. I remember absolutely loving grilled eel as a kid, so. When it's the last week of the month, I don't tend to want to start any of my books that I plan on reading for the next month, in case I finish them. I'm reading Watch Over Me by Neil LaCour. This is my first Neil LaCour. And for some reason, I've never really had this need to annotate books before. In this one, I am annotating. I'm not annotating a whole lot. It's just like highlighting every now and then making little notes like, what the fuck? But yeah, it was going fast, and then there was a couple days where I just wasn't feeling it. I was fine with not reading. And then I finished my last audiobook for the month of March. I decided to look through my library and see what I had available as an audiobook, what's available now, and I decided to start on The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. The last week of the month always feels like it's like a minor version of like after Christmas, before New Year's, and this like weird in-between time when it comes to books. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I need to go to my niece's school. We're gonna teach the kids about acorns, some of the local resources, have them try some eel, which is actually just lamprey. But it'll be good. I'm excited for it. This is it's been the first time in a long time that I've done this. Start the video and started coughing fit. Awesome. So that went about to be expected, really, with a bunch of second graders. So it was cute. My niece dressed up in her regalia. A lot of kids seem to enjoy the acorns. There was a couple that didn't, which I kind of expected, which is fine. It's always interesting with this because it's like the teacher's not native. And the way she had explained how we collect acorns was based in the past. So it's like talking about how we would have to find a stick and a rock, or at least like 2 good rocks, one for the base and one to like hammer the shells with to get the shells away from the acorns. That's fine, but it's like there was so many moments that I'm like, I just use a hammer now. Or like, and I don't know, it was very like past oriented, which was weird, but it was good to like be there and kind of like talk about it right now. Oh, I talked to you about like what I was reading, but like didn't talk to you about what the books were about. So yes, it is, I am listening to The Watchmen by Louise Erdrich, and it's narrated by the author. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, on all honesty. I'm just kind of listening to it right now. We're have 2 perspectives. We have Thomas, who is a night watchman at night, and he's also the chairman of his tribe during the day. And I think this is set in a time where they were trying to get it so that tribes no longer, I mean, they've always tried to get it so tribes no longer existed, but I think they're trying to like take away the land so that the tribes are more integrated into society. I'm probably totally wrong on this, but we're also following Patrice's perspective, aka Pixie, who is working a white person job in drilling holes into gems to make beads. It's interesting so far. I'm always, I don't know, it's interesting so far. So and then I'm also reading Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. We are following Mila, who, something has happened in her past. Basically, she was in the foster system, and basically she was getting close to aging out. The foster parents that she had are basically preparing for a baby. I'm not sure necessarily if they were preparing to adopt a baby or foster a baby, or if they were having a baby, but ultimately they were preparing for a baby, and Mila felt like she was just kind of getting in the way. So she talked to her, is it a social worker? Um, and managed to get a job as an intern on a farm for another couple that fosters children and has been fostering children for a long time. They have a system. So they think they have like eight, maybe 10, 8 to 10 kids that they're fostering. They have two other interns, and it's on this huge farm in Mendocino County. And the interns live in these cabins on the farm, and they have a barn that they use as a school, to teach these children. And Mila is essentially hired as an intern to teach. I would assume it's like the equivalent of like a middle grade, and not quite the younger kids, but not quite the high schoolers. And right now she only has one student that she's teaching, Lee. And she's finding she is connecting a lot with Lee because they are both the newest people on this farm. And like she's noticing that all the other kids and even the interns have like these gold jewelry pieces that they were given by the foster parents, and Lee and Mila don't have them yet. So, but also on this farm are ghosts, and everyone seems can see them. Everyone on the farm can see them. So it's really interesting, and something happened in Mila's past, and we're kind of getting snippets of that because that's what she's being haunted by. Good morning. Ugh, sorry, I just got out of the shower, so I have like shower hair I have yet to do. Anyway, and that's why my face isn't made up either. I didn't film yesterday, mostly because we weren't sure what we were gonna do yesterday. I stayed home, I edited, I didn't read so much. Oh, I guess I did, in a bit. So, yeah, so I ended up just putting a pause on The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. Not that it wasn't good at all, it was that it's not what I wanted right now. Mostly because my Libro credit went in, or went through, and I got a credit. So I immediately went and got the second book in the Temeraire series, because I'm riding this train until my body makes me fall off. I'm on the fantasy train. Let's go. So, I immediately got The Throne of Jade, which is the second book in the Temeraire series, and started reading it. So, yeah. I did also finish Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour last night. Which is probably why I'm tired this morning, because it was one of those oh, I'm just so close, I just need to finish it. So I didn't fall asleep until almost 1, which typically wouldn't mind, but the fact that I have work today, kind of mind. But I finished it. It's all very interesting, and I've heard that Nina LaCour is great at writing loneliness, and I would have to agree with that. I gave this 4 stars overall, mostly because I feel like there was definitely elements that I highlighted in here and I annotated, which I never really do with books. I didn't put any tabs because I don't have any. And I think I annotated until about the halfway point, because then I started reading it in bed and I don't have my highlighter or my pen in bed. But there were definitely moments in here where I missed my grandparents, in all honesty. That's what I thought this book did really well, is that like missing of someone, the reliability, and then the sudden shock of when someone's not there anymore. So there is definitely, I would say, content warnings for um, just kind of scary situations in here. Um, and it was all very, very sad. It made me miss my grandparents. I need to call my grandma now. Sorry if I sound a little nasally. I'm a little stuffy this morning. And I'm still getting over this freaking cough. Um, but yeah, ultimately gave it a 4. Mostly because I feel like there could have been more to it. Like this could have been a little longer. I wanted more to it. I wanted a better connection with Terry and Julia, who are the foster parents, and the owners of this farm. I wanted more kind of like spookier elements. I don't know. Like I kind of wanted more. I wanted to feel more, and I didn't as much as I wanted. Like I feel like there could have been slightly creepier moments, slightly spookier moments. I know that's not the point of the book. It's an interesting take on trauma and how we deal with it. So I don't know, 4 stars. Love this cover. So yeah. And now I'm looking at my physical TBR to see which book I want to read next and bring with me today. I have like less than 30 minutes before I have to leave for work. I think I'm going to go ahead and do The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. Just because since it's the Literally Dead book club pick, I did this last month too, and I kind of made the Spite House a priority. So I think I'm going to do that with The Writing Retreat. Hello, it's the next day. Don't mind my ruined tank top. I had a cardigan thing on all day, and now it's warm. Rude. Anyway, it's been quite the last few days at work. Just things that kept coming up. I'm exhausted now. I do technically have a 3-day weekend coming up, so that'll be nice. Though I'm technically working on Saturday, because we're having a big time, which is essentially just like cultural demonstrations, vendors. I've heard people call it like similar to a powwow, and I really just, I've never been to a powwow, so I can't confirm that that's what it's like. But basically, we have people from the local area as well as like from all across California come and basically demonstrate cultural dances. Heard some vendors back out because it's really not something that they're used to. They're more used to powwows, and they said that this is not what that is. So I don't know. So I'm kind of acting as liaison between the library and that event. So we're going to be tabling, and I'm going to be helping setting up. I am like just over 50% of the way through the Throne of Jade, which Throne of Jade? I keep wanting to call it the Jade Throne. I know that's not it. I think it's the Throne of Jade. But it's the second book in the Temeraire series. I am absolutely loving it. I was warned that this one was a little slower, and yeah, it is, but it's not like dampening my enjoyment at all. If anything, it's like just as good in my opinion because we're still exploring the world. We essentially are still following Captain Lawrence. We're still following Temeraire, and basically we're learning more about the dragons. The fact that they can get sick, which is oddly adorable and sad. As I'm still getting over my sickness, I feel for Temeraire. I feel for some of the dragons right now. I have picked up a physical book, The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I am still literally on the first page. I literally have only read like a couple sentences from it just because anytime I find time to be able to sit and start reading, something interrupts me. So yeah, I'm hoping to get more into it soon, and actually that was my plan for right now, but wanted to update y'all before I forgot. I think now we'll go home, have some pizza for dinner. I really didn't feel like cooking, and I'm running out of ideas. Also, I just got paid, so that's also helpful. um, yeah, it just sounds really good. So do some of that, maybe play some more Halo. That's another something that my partner and I occasionally do, so go through every so often, is that we just like play through Halo. It's something that, yeah, we're redoing it right now. We're still on the first one. We just got past the library, so that was like the big hurdle. Good morning. Sorry, I'm waking up still. We're just letting the dog out before we head to work. But I wanted to check in real quick. I'm like an hour and 35 minutes away from finishing The Throne of Jade, the second book in the Temeraire series, and I'm like 4 chapters in to The Writing Retreat. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can finish The Throne of Jade today while at work. And I have heard that the second one's a little slow, and as well as the third one, but I'm still enjoying it. Ultimately, we're still getting the world and figuring out how, you know, different cultures treat dragons, which I mean, I still think I'm still considering it like part of the first, really, in that it's still exploration of the world. I still am really enjoying it because it's still new, it's still intriguing. So yeah, I'm not disliking it. I'm enjoying it almost as much as the first one, if anything. So yeah, and of course it's, I think, cute and funny because we realize a couple things about dragons, and it's also thought-provoking because we also realize something about like how the Chinese treat their dragons as well as women. So that's interesting. Sorry, it's dark out. I'm actually taking Goose out right now. I don't know how well you can hear me, just because I don't want to get the neighbor's dogs barking, but finished the second book in the Temporary series, The Throne of Jade. Loved it. It is a bit slower than the first book, but I still enjoyed it. Probably a 4.75 just because it was a little dull at times, but it really wasn't that bad. Still really liked it. Still really enjoy Salmon Vance's narration. I debated for a bit after finishing which book I should go on to next. I almost thought about Murder Your Employer by, I forget who, but it's narrated by Simon Vance and Neil Patrick Harris, and I thought I'd give Simon Vance a bit of a rest for the time being, and actually switched out that one horror book that I was supposed to read for April and switched it to House of Good Bones by T.K. and Fisher, and I'm liking it so far. It's interesting. I'm about 20% of the way through. Not so much horror, a lot of internal monologue with fourth wall break, which I don't mind. So far it's interesting. Good morning. It is Thursday. I have the day off. So after sleeping in for a little bit, not quite as much as I wanted to, but we have yard people coming. And sorry if you can hear my cat. She's being over dramatic right now. She's fine. Yeah, you're fine. We have yard people coming. And so I had to let Riley in and unlock the back gate so that they can get to the backyard. Still listening to A House of Good Bones. by T. Kingfisher, who narrates it, because they're actually doing a pretty good job. I think my one complaint is that Sam sounds like her mom. That's my only thing. Okay, so the narrator for A House with Good Bones is Mary Robinette Kowal. So yeah, I think they do a good job so far. I'm enjoying it. I particularly really like um, her voices. Her voice in general is great. Like I can there if I listen hard enough, I can tell the difference between Sam and her mom, who I can't remember her name right now, um, and Grandma May. Grandma May sounds like Maggie Smith. So it kind of makes me laugh, particularly because Maggie Smith is a sweet British actress, and Grandma May is a somewhat racist, ornery Southern woman. Um, yeah. Um, so right now I'm gonna edit. I'm late with the video, so hopefully I can get that done. At least exporting um, here in a bit, and then I think I'm gonna fix that knotted mess. And I want a physical copy of A House of Good Bones, because right now I'm just listening to it audibly, but I'm gonna want a copy. So I may go after this exports. I may fix this mess. I mean, this is fine, but like change my pants because I'm wearing stained sweats. I'm wearing house clothes. So I may just go grab some coffee and go to the local bookstore and see if they have this book on hand. If not, I'll probably order it through them. And I'm about 40% of the way through A House of Good Bones. I guess I haven't talked about the writing retreat. That one I'm still slowly going through. I don't know. I'm only at the part where she is just heading to Rosa's house. So she like just found out that she's going to the writing retreat and she's just getting there. So it's like chapter 4 or 5 and it's not very far in at all. So, okay, so there's too many people in the bookstore for me to feel comfortable with filming. They did not have A House of Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. So they're gonna order it for me and hopefully it'll be in tomorrow, but it's more likely it'll be in on Monday. So not a biggie. I grabbed some chai from Starbucks because it is cold today. So just something warm. I have to go down. I have to like go for like a 30-45 minute drive because my tax stuff is ready and they are that far away. I also have a Doritos because of course I need more than one freaking drink. But that was a weird combination. But I also have a sandwich with me. I got some pesto tofu sandwich from a local restaurant. So I should be all good to head down to this 45-minute away town to pick up my tax stuff. So and I think I should be done with A House with Good Bones by the time I get back. In all honesty, I have like a little over an hour left, so that should be plenty. I did end up getting How to Murder Your Employer as a backup, just because I knew. So I figured I'll read that, and then after that's like 14 hours, so we'll see. I don't think I'll get that done this week. I'm still enjoying A House of Good Bones. It just kind of feels like that went into this weird niche thing where Sam ended up doing a deep dive on the internet about one of her relations, and it kind of I couldn't really follow it, but ultimately it's fun. Oh, is Mario playing now? Sorry, I'm outside. Like the restaurant I just got food from is right next to a theater, and on one of their posters I see the Mario poster, and it's one of them said coming soon, but another one says now playing. So I have to look that up because I've been wanting to watch this. I also see that John Wick 4 is playing, which I thought it was going to be later, but like I'm gonna go to like all these movies right now. So we'll see if no, we can't. Damn it. I was gonna say I hope my partner is willing to do that, but he's actually going hunting this weekend for turkey, so probably not. Okay, you're perched decently on a cabinet as I try to determine if whatever my mom's cooking is done. I was supposed to check this apparently 2 hours ago, but that was when I was first leaving. It looks done to me. I don't know what this is. I think it's chicken. Okay. Finished with a house with good bones. What the hell? I enjoyed it. It's a definitely what the hell is this? What the hell's going on type of book. For the most part, unless you're really afraid of bugs, I don't know if you'd necessarily be scared throughout it, particularly like ladybugs. And there's like a bit of uncomfortableness of like some oddities happening, but it's like nothing gets really like creepy, I feel like, until almost the very end. And even then it was like, what? But I really enjoyed the book overall. It was different than anything I've ever read before. T. Kingfisher is very interesting writing. I guess it was kind of different. It kind of reminded me of How to Sell a Haunted House, but not nearly as potent. Mixed almost with what actually some bits reminded me of was Practical Magic, not the book, the movie. Slightly, very slightly. Yeah. It was interesting. I'm giving it a 4.5. There was like some, that feels a little too high, maybe a 4.25 or a 4. There was definitely little bits where it lost me. Had to suspend my disbelief a little bit to enjoy it. But overall, really did enjoy the writing, and ultimately loved Sam as a character. She kind of reminded me a bit of Phoebe from Love in the Time of Serial Killers, not because they were both plus size, but just because, and actually she's a little funnier and confident. Is it because they're both plus size that I relate to her? I don't know. I relate a lot more to Sam than I do with Phoebe in terms of her being weird and kind of just questioning herself of like, yes, I'm talking to bugs. This is normal. Or like, you know, I am socially awkward and I can't handle with people emoting emotions towards me. I hardly know what to do with myself when emoting emotions. So very relatable. Sam as a character was very relatable. Her mother was a sweet bean. Yeah, that's another book down for this week. I'm pretty excited. So that's what, 3 so far? That's pretty good. So now I think I'm going to start Murder Your Employer. But first I'm going to like let that like The House with Good Bones kind of sleep in a little, maybe do some editing. Maybe do some knitting. I thought I was going to do the chairs today. I could very well do that, but everyone will be heading home here in a couple hours. I'm tired. A lot of running around today. Not that much, but you know what? Whatever. I'll do the chairs tomorrow. morning. I'm getting ready for big time. I'm not going to be able to film very much B-roll there because ultimately it's disrespectful to record, even if it's a demonstration, other people's ceremonies. So like I said, even if it's a demonstration. So I'm not going to get very much B-roll there. I'm just going to let you know. But I am going to end this vlog today. Oh my God, dog. No. Go back that way. Come here. Over this way. Come on. Oh my God. Come on. Ridiculous. Wraps himself around the porch. I think I'm gonna soften enough the writing retreat for right now, just because I only just made it to chapter 7, where everyone introduces themselves. After everyone introduces themselves, and like we get Alex talking about how, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because all these conversations came up at once that I think it sounds performative, but it's like the pronoun conversation, the fact that publishing is mainly white, the fact that there's only one black person or a woman of color at this writing retreat. And Alex like points that out, but it's like, are you giving up your seat? So I need to fix my eyeliner. Yeah. Oh, and it's like a brief mention of slavery, which Alex immediately feels uncomfortable with and wants to move on. And it's like, I don't know if it's purposely doing that, but ultimately I'm just like, this feels performative. And ultimately I'm not like excited to read this book. So it's like, I started it a week ago and I've only made it to chapter 7. I'm just putting it down for right now. I'm picking up Bad Creed by Jessica Johns instead and see how that goes. Okay, so we're back from big time. Like I said, I wasn't gonna get any B-roll from there. It's because you shouldn't be recording. It was really cool though. It was really fun. It's the first big time that we've had since the pandemic. So it was really nice to see. It was a really nice turnout actually. And I like seeing all the vendors, so it's actually where I got these from. I've had these for a while, but I have a haul for you. Like I said, it was really fun. I was asked to dance for a coming of age ceremony demonstration that we do for young girls transitioning to young women. So that was really nice too, and it was really nice to see everybody. So I have, and of course, like there's vendors there, so to get earrings and stuff. So I added to my earring collection a little bit. So I got definitely broke the bank a little bit, but here's one pair. Let me make sure they're not gonna fall out, but and there we go. Is one pair. We're absolutely excited about them. And another pair that broke the bank a little bit, but whatever. I'm just really excited for these because they're so unique. I haven't seen anything like, well, I've seen something similar to them, but I don't have anything like this in my collection, so. Come on. And then finally, got little, thought these would match. They're not quite, but whatever. This is a bracelet. So yeah, so that's my little haul. I am gonna give the writing retreat another chance just because I feel so bad with I can't get to 50 pages in. It's like I haven't even gotten to, like, you know, the meat and potatoes of the book. So I'm gonna continue on with it for a little further just to see how I feel about it before actually DNFing it. But I am gonna end this vlog here, just because I'm tired and I go back to work tomorrow, and I think this is enough content for you all. So thank you. Let's see, what did I finish this week? Was it this week that I finished Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour? I gave that 4 stars. I enjoyed it and actually ended up annotating it a bit. Thought it was okay, like probably 3.75 really, if I'm getting real picky about it. And then I also finished Throne of Jade, which is the second book in the Timur series, 4.75 as well. In terms of rating, just because I still really enjoyed it, but it was a little slower and wasn't quite as action-packed as I was hoping it would be, but we're still exploring the world, still getting the understanding of these dragons in the Napoleonic era, so still really fun. We also got a brief snippet of other dragons. So there was one actually from North America called Dakota. So I'm interested in seeing how it goes with that in terms of North American and South American dragons, and how the cultural differences and significances. And then I finished A House of Good Bones, which was another like 4.5 star. Ultimately, not like still creepy, but I wanted it to be creepy throughout the whole book. There was mention of without actually mentioning NAGPRA, but ultimately still really enjoyed it. Enjoyed Sam as a character, and her narration. So yeah, I also will have a full review. By the time this blog goes up, there will be a full review of A House of Good Bones on my channel if you want to check that out. So I'll have that linked, mostly because I did want to talk about NAGPRA, and I understand in a sense though that not a whole lot of people know about it. It's something that I'm aware of because I am Indigenous, so it's one of those things that I feel like should be common knowledge, but ultimately it's common knowledge for me because it's an Indigenous. It affects me and my community. So it wasn't until I had discussed it with my partner, who's not Indigenous, who didn't understand that it was a law. So there's that. But still wanted to talk about it. Still a learning experience that I feel like was greatly missed. Yeah. Otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed. If you made it this far, let's put a yellow heart emoji. I don't know why. I'm just feeling that right now. So yeah, let's do that if you made it this far. Otherwise, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And I hope that you are in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading. I will talk to you again very soon. Cheers.